Hello, hello, hello. Whew, you all. I'm your girl, Michelle Hope Walker. Let me date this. This is May 2nd, 2021. Oh, you all, this is so challenging for me. My grandmother has passed away. I remember when I would even just think I didn't think about it, but I just didn't even want to think about it. You know how when somebody else's parent passes away or grandparent passes away, and it makes you a little bit think of, oh my God, what could they be going through? I can't even think about my grandmother or my mom, passing away. It creeps me out. I'm like, you know, um, and so, whew, it has been challenging. I dressed up for my grandma because my grandma liked to dress, because y'all know I got my signature outfit of what is it, y'all? My black tank, my black suit jacket. And if you see me standing up, my gray skirt. That's my signature. Like they say, it was a Steve Jobs was his signature black turtleneck. And I think they said, what's the golfer? Can't think of his name right now. Tiger Woods has his red and black. That's my signature outfit. So it's not that I don't have any more clothes. I have tons of clothes. It's just that's my, your go-to outfit. Everybody has like a go-to that they feel comfortable in. That's my go-to and also my comfortable outfit. It happens to be a dress-up type outfit. But for my grandma today, I wanted to dress up some. Because my grandma loved to dress up. She loved her clothes, she loved for us to go shopping. She loved to go shopping. She loved for us to give her money to go shopping. Then she had her own money, of course, to go shopping. I remember one time when she worked at Walmart, and she just loved that job, for a person that loves to shop and stuff. Can you imagine then getting the opportunity to work in a store? So then you really get the chance to, as you putting up clothes and doing things, to always be looking at stuff that you might gonna get and everything. My grandma was a dresser. Oh my gosh, dress. Yo, grandma always looked nice. So this video is just talking about my grandma, just remembering my grandma. And don't get me wrong, I believe my grandma's spirit is right here with me. She may have passed physically, but I know spiritually she's right here with me now. I'm talking to her all the time. Hey, grandma, how you doing? I feel she's talking to me all the time. So spiritually, her spirit lives on in me and all of us, and she's right there in heaven smiling and looking at us and watching over us. That's how I see it, but physically, I'm going to miss her, Whew. Because my contacts get so blurry. I won't really be able to see through. It's hard. But I want to celebrate my grandma. So it's more of a celebration of her life. I have lipstick on now. That's a celebration of my grandma. Here's the lipstick. When my grandma didn't see me with lipstick on, she'd always be like, what's wrong? You okay? Where's your lipstick at? It turned red when I cry. Oh my gosh, look at that. So you run around and you find some lipstick, and it's why I keep lipstick on now. I remember when I was married, and I would just go take out the garbage. Actually, he shouldn't take the garbage out, but anyway, I forgot. We both do it these days, right? And he probably like, why are you putting lipstick on just to go outside? Are you going to see something? But it was always my grandma's voice saying, where's your lipstick at? Put your lipstick on. So if nothing else, I would wear lipstick. Matter of fact, I don't even really like all the other, makeup. And they say too, as you get older, you have to watch that powder makeup because it'll get caked up in your creases and actually make you look older than you actually are. So my grandma's just so awesome. Remember, even then, as you hear me talk about the mistreatment of black women. Even then, my grandma knew. So you know how you get older and you go to college and you learn the research terms of things and you're involved in the movement, so you learn other terms of things. So although my grandma was not speaking in the terms that we speak on now when we talk about the mistreatment of black people in the medical field, in the health field, my grandma still knew some things, my grandma and my mom. Where when I had my first two kids, I lived in more of the city, not a city like LA, it was just the city for that little town area, where my grandma and them lived, it was a little bit more smaller. And they had better doctors there. And the doctors treated the black people better there than some of the doctors treated the black people in the city, and they knew my family in the small town. And that's sometimes the benefits, like I say, to some of the small towns, is that because everybody may know everybody and they may know your family or whatever, so the other different races won't mistreat your black family sometime as much because they're familiar with you more. So I went to stay with my grandma whenever it got close time for me to have the baby. And usually that was like 3 months before it was time for me to have my child. A lot of times with my kids, I went on bed rest. And yes, I have 4 kids. They're grown now. I have grandkids now. But I remember as I would go down and stay with my grandma. First of all, that my grandma just let me, my grandparents just let me go down there and stay with them. I mean, that's a blessing. I mean, that they took up on that, that my grandma was willing to take that up on. You know what I'm saying? Which I always spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house and with my grandma. All the time. I love spending time with my grandma. They always spoiled me and always constantly put good things in me. Always told me, how pretty I was, how smart I am. Just always made me feel so good, and so, but again, with those first 2 pregnancies, I was young. I was a young teenage mom. In both those 2 pregnancies, I was still a teenager in both of those pregnancies. And my grandma going to doctor appointments with me when I had my baby. Spent time with, I was right there with my grandma, And that's why at times, when she had got sick, it was just so hard for me because I felt sometimes so helpless that I couldn't do maybe all that I wanted to do. There were certain things I wanted to do, but again, I wanted to, make sure I ran them by, my mom, my grandparents, or my aunt, or whatever, and if they didn't agree or whatever, I couldn't do it, But my grandma had just been there for me just so much. And even while she was in nursing homes and in hospitals, she would still be thinking of me, And I could call her and she would talk to me and she thought about me and she would always call me. As a grown up and live in different places, she always called me. I live out here in LA and do TV and entertainment type stuff a lot. I remember, she would call me about events, and I'm right here in LA. She would call me about events that were going on, that is so much going on that maybe I didn't realize was going on too, or whatever. She would remind me of different things. I would call and let them know the shows I was on so they can watch, and I was always blessed where whatever show I did, they always usually end up showing me. My grandma and my family could see me. I thank God that before COVID, I was constantly going back to visit my family. And I was constantly visiting my grandma when she was in the nursing home. And even before then, I had started going back where, it's a blessing that right before she went in the hospital and all of this stuff, started, because it just seemed like once she went in the hospital at one time, they kept her, then that just sort of started all of the other challenges. But I got blessed that I spent the night, I spent the whole weekend with them, but one of the times I went back, I had spent the night with my grandparents. And it was actually the weekend we were celebrating their anniversary, my grandparents' anniversary. So if you go on my Facebook, you also see April, and right here on this YouTube, the video of my grandma, because I was always videotaping them, and sometimes, they're like, that camera, like, why are you videotaping me? And not that I was planning for if they passed, but it was just, I even would think about, times when I was at home, I could always play the video and hear my grandma and watch my grandma saying something to me, So that's sort of what in my mindset. And now with her just passing, and I was able to find the one video that was actually the weekend that I had stayed with them, where she's talking, and it's so interesting watching that video because she's talking about their anniversary, because on that date they had been together, I believe, was 67 years. Of course, now it's way more years than, I think they're saying now 70 years. It would have been 70 years or maybe 71 years come this August 7th. My grandmother passed on April 26, 2021, so just recently. But you hear her saying where she talks about, she's had a good life. And that made me feel good, which I'm like my grandma. I didn't need a lot I don't need a lot to make me happy, I'm just happy in life, But I just thank God for all those times I got a chance to see, because who knew COVID was going to hit, Whew, and has it been challenging, trying to do funerals, trying to go to funerals in the midst of COVID, because I know some people are like, and again, let me date this video. This is May 2nd, 2021. And I know some people are like, COVID is gone and it's over, but and we may be done with COVID, but COVID is not done with us. Or whatever people want to call it, something is killing people. You know what I'm saying? In a large mass number that hadn't before, not in my lifetime. And history takes it all the way back to the flu epidemic when it first came out, it's sad, so I'm not able to make it to the funeral. And that's a challenge for me because, then sometimes part of me is like, no, I'll just go. But then God, and it's like I even hear my grandmother's like, no, because, we don't need you to die, too. That would be very unnecessary. When your grandmother's right here, where you can always talk to her, and, I've sent in a lot of stuff, pictures, videos, and different things, for the funeral, for them to pick through to play on whatever they can play so I can have a part in the funeral. And yes, I would like to be there, for my other family members even to, console them and encourage them. But I've been calling them and different things like that, because it's like, it's a lot of people that I would be around. And then for me, it's like I'm catching every mode of transportation to get back to my little town. I'm planing it. Well, first I'm busing it, then I'm planing it. Then when I get off the plane, I'm training it again. And then when I get off the train, I'm busing it again. So it puts me around a whole bunch of people that may have COVID, And that's the things that some people have it and they don't even know they have it, but they can give it to people. And even people that have been vaccinated can give it to people. And then really all this information they're telling us, really, we can't take it totally to heart because this thing is very new. And that's why I love when I see the news media, it's like, really, we don't know. I like when they just keep it real because we don't know. They're just telling us what they think they know, but they really don't know. And none of us know. And in the midst of people not knowing, I don't want to die earlier than when I'm supposed to die. And if I feel God letting me know, no, this is not time for you to, no. And I feel like, even when I get most, I'm like, no, I'm going to go. I even feel God's like, okay, well, that if I did die and I know I'm going to heaven, I'm up in heaven, I'm like, well, God, why'd you take me? He'd be like, I didn't tell you to go. I did not tell you to go. If there was not COVID, that would have been fine. But when there's something that's running around killing people, and I'm telling, basically they're telling people stay still in your area. People are traveling, but they're still advising people to not travel. you know, like I said, I have asthma, nerve pain. I have different things going on that, I'm more, at risk, and, I can catch things a little bit more easier, and stuff that, it would just be like opening up a can of worms that, you already know this. Why would you put yourself out there like that, And I know my own grandma wouldn't even, want me to have to travel like that and catch something. So due to COVID, I'm not at the funeral. But thank God, the funeral home will be having it on Facebook. I'm like, thank you, God. Because I was thinking about if I could get somebody to videotape, but I was thinking about, okay, who in my family would do that? And it's like, okay, I'm not going to see a videotape. And I was thinking, the phone. You can just let his phone down, and don't get me wrong, I understand. And, because everybody's going to funeral and you're focused on that, maybe people are not focused on videotape or even laying the phone down because they might forget it or whatever. So I was like, thank God, that the funeral home is going to have it on Facebook. And they told me I don't need to go to another special app or anything. Just my regular Facebook should show it. So I'm praying that this is true in the name of Jesus. Because I plan to literally get dressed up and probably have this on and celebrate my grandma with the rest of the family, and I'll just be doing it online. Now, because it's on Facebook, I feel like I remind my family, whatever you do, the world's going to be watching, so just be cautious, be cognitive, be aware of that, But, so I thank God. Thank you, funeral home, for doing that. I'm trying not to do a lot of calling out. Y'all know I try to stay generic a lot of times on the names and at times, But, because you got to be careful. I mean, even though I do social media and I do it to reach out to you all, and for this video, for me, it's just an honor of my grandmother, and maybe even for the family to be able to watch, but of course, when you post something, it's not just your family watching, it's all over the world. So people that like you, don't like you, people that know you, don't know you, you got people that do just little ignorant stuff sometimes. But, my grandmother, and so I got blessed to spend time with her even before all that, happened. That's where you see the videotape. And then even when she went into the hospital, I was blessed. I mean, I feel like I was in my hometown maybe every month. I feel like, so God was just blessing me. God kept leading me there, and I kept going. I go by and I visit my grandma, go by and visit my grandma, and I thank God for that. And that's why I tell people, when God tell you to do something, do it. Do it. Putting lotion in my hand. Because you don't know. And I remember Creflo Dollar talking about that. When God calls and tell you to do something, timing is important. You don't know what's going to happen next. So one time Creflo Dollar was like, you might be crazy. They say you might not be in your right mind, to be honest. That's what he had said, But you don't know. You don't know. So I thank God that for every time I came there to visit my grandma, I thank God, because I was coming there multiple times to visit my grandma. Who knew that such thing as a COVID, where literally we had to stay away from people, that other people could make you sick. Being too close to other people. I'm still like 6 feet away. 6 feet. And you can't look at a person until they got COVID. Which is really like, the little sexual disease. You can't look at a person until they got it. Anybody could have it. You know what I'm saying? Some people, watch who you have sex with. But anyway, so with this COVID, you can't tell who, person with the most money, cleanest, it doesn't make a difference. And that's why even in COVID, I had ran into a couple of celebrities at times, and they were ready to, so no, 6 feet, I'll do you in the background, picture you in the background. I was like, I don't love you that much that I'm going to get COVID from you. Oh, no, I'm not even going to take the chance. No, it's not that serious. Because you're not going to be with me at the hospital and you can't save my life. And so for me, I'm just more, I'd rather be cautious and, than just wide open, letting any and everything go. Because I know if I get sick with all I have to go through, these racist hospitals and doctors you have to deal, no. When I be by myself, no. So, but who knew that would happen? And so, but even in the midst of that, I kept talking to my grandma, then got to the point that it was hard to talk to her lately these past couple of weeks because it's like she was in and out, There's a lot of other stuff I really can't discuss in the video, but I just have to say, you just have to watch stuff that you get. You have to watch medical things and what folks tell you to do and, medically, you have to watch it. Because you have to watch what you put in your body. Because instead of making you better, it can make you worse or it can kill you. So, I love you, Grandma, and I just thank you. I thank my family who has taken care of my grandma and been right there for her the whole time, because when a loved one, gets sick, you have to rearrange your schedule and do all kind of different things, because you want to be there for your loved ones. So, I always was telling my mom, my aunt, my grandpa, just everybody, thank you, And right, I know some people are like, yeah, but that's what they're supposed to do. But have you seen some other families? People don't always do what they're supposed to do, what I'm saying? Or be there for family the way they're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? And it's in the midst of COVID, so I couldn't even get back there, and, God is good, and so God has kept my family and watched over them as they were there for my grandma and being there. And, I'm just going to miss my grandma so much, and, I already feel it, even here where I am, but I most definitely know that when I do go back to my birth area, I know it's gonna, as it should, because then I'm right there. And for sure, I know my grandma is not here, because usually when I'm right there, I see her. So, but again, spiritually, hey grandma, love you. I feel like she's with me in spirit, and so that is what has consoled me. And as my family talks about, we should celebrate her. We don't want to, we know we're not going to be able to see her, so that is the sad part of it, where we do mourn her in a sense, but at the same time, to celebrate her life. And then as I watched that video, that even then, before all of this happened, in that video, she was just concerned about she wanted her legs to feel a little bit more better. She was able to get up and walk, but she just wanted her legs to feel a little bit better. And sometimes I look and I thought, man, I wish we could just go back to that time. Because when she went in the hospital, then all kind of stuff started, happening. And it was way more than just her legs feeling better, But in that video, I like to watch it because she talks about she felt like they've had a good marriage. She felt like she had a good life, I've asked the funeral hymn if nothing else, they could show that snippet of where she talks about her, because it's like she's talking about life overall, Family, I love you all. I'll be praying and I'll be right with you on the Facebook. I'll be seeing you all. I'll be crying, as I already know, and I'm going to let it go. It's okay to mourn over our loved ones. Even in the Bible, in Ecclesiastes, it talks about it's a time to be happy, a time to mourn. It's okay. Now, you don't want the mourning to turn into depression or, to start getting unhealthy on you. But it's okay to miss a loved one. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get it out. It's okay to cry about anything. I tell people, cry and get it out, and then it makes you stronger, and you'll be able to get right back up and do what you got to do. It's okay. We're human. We're not stones. We're not a rock. Some people seem to be. They have no heart. But we have a heart, most of us, that we love and we care. Also, I'm a comedian, actress, rapper, singer, and everything. So for some of you all, this is my personality. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, through the crying, I still keep a joyful and a laugh. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. Life is too short to not keep stuff real. And just, And plus, again, I know my grandma wants us to celebrate her life and be happy. She don't want us to be sad, but at the same time, she understands that we will be, because we're not going to be able to see her the way we, but yes, I'm glad she's not in no more pain, as I hear my other family, talk about. Let me put my lipstick on. It's coming out. This is my grandma. Grandma, this is to you. This is like hard on Vic for keeping the stick on. But my grandma loves us, and she's there for us, and just gonna miss her, and she knows that, so I'm gonna close this out, but and thank you for all the people that are sending me condolences. Thank you. Because it's been challenging. And, as a funeral, as it gets even more challenging. And even after the funeral, I don't think it ever goes away, You're going to always miss the person, but I know she's with me. And there still are times that, I feel like even after all of this, the funeral and everything, I'll still get teary-eyed, and it's okay. I allow myself to grieve, That's healthy. So family, I love you. I'm with you. You all got my number. I'm just a phone call away. I don't do a lot of personal talk on social media. I'm going to be like, but we're going to celebrate my grandma's life. So Wednesday, we're going to celebrate her. And I celebrate my grandma. I'm strong now because of my grandma. My grandma didn't play. My grandma would fight. My grandma would speak up. My grandma didn't play. And she loved God. Oh my gosh, my grandma loved God. And I thank you for that. Her many prayers and, just praying for us, keeping us all together. And, and so, we're just going to miss that, So family, hi. My social media is, Twitter is Hope_speaks, not the minus sign, the line on the line. Facebook is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks, period, listen. And Instagram is Michelle Hope Walker Speaks. Now the Instagram, I gotta get it. I keep asking them to fix my Instagram where I can post newer videos. But I still can, communicate through. But again, I don't do a lot of personal communicating through Instagram. So family, y'all know to call me. And I guess I may just start a whole nother Instagram since this one just, But I have a lot of great stuff on my Instagram. So you can go through and look through my Instagram. But basically, family, call me. Call me, text me. Nerve fan, I don't do a lot of texting. So more or less, call me. And not gonna get my phone number out on here. This goes out to the world. But you should already have my number, family. But anyway, so love you all. Thank you to everybody, and thank you to all who watch this. It may not be my family, but you're just like, oh, because I'm that way too. Oh, they lost their grandma. Because we all can relate to someone losing their family. Sometimes even through social media, if I see someone say they lost their family, I didn't have to know them to still give them my condolences. I mean, we're human, and I love all people, and I love, to be there for people if I can. That's me. That's the type of nature I have. So, God is good. God's going to be watching. Keep our family in prayer. Keep me in prayer. Believing God's going to be with us through celebrating our grandmother. And thank you. And family, I love you. I love you, Grandma.